Good evening, friends. It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. I think tonight we're on episode 258. So let's talk about marketing as we do in this show. I want to get specific here with what marketing really is. Like, what is the game of marketing? You know, and I use that word game in the most affectionate and fun way possible, right? Gaming can feel like manipulation, but in this context, we're speaking of it as like an approach. Like, if we're going to play the game, let's figure out what the best way to play it is. So for you to understand how marketing best works, you've got to have some context for the day and age we live in, right? So 98% of consumers are skeptical of what they read online, which makes total sense because if you look at politics, you've got the left side, the right side, both are telling their sides of the story. If you look at marketing, all sorts of people are spamming and ambushing people with their marketing. Like, look, it makes total sense that 98% of people are skeptical of what they read online. And this is the environment that you and I market into. So this is why most people in their marketing fail, because most people in their marketing are trying to go for the immediate sale. They're like, well, let's run an ad and see if I can't get a sale, right? That's tough. Especially, listen, a lot of my clients are coaches, right? If you're in informational products, if you're in some type of transformational space and what your product is a service and not a tangible like widget, when you market for a sale, people get skeptical because a lot of people have been sold a bill of goods, right? Like a lot of people in marketing say a lot of crap in order to make a sale. That's my point. And this is why people are skeptical and cynical of what they read online. So when you get that backdrop to this whole as context for marketing, you start to realize that marketing is a game of inner circles. Meaning, at the inner circle, the very inner circle is trust, rapport, admiration, appreciation, generosity. There is this very tight bond at the inner circle, right? Kevin Kelly might call that, or Seth Godin would call that, your true fans. Like your true fans. Your true fans will travel miles to be with you. They will fly to meet with you. They will buy everything that you have. Your true fans will go out of their way in order to work with you, okay? But that's the inner circle. Now, let's go to the outer circle, the most outer circle there is. That's, to me, where, so obviously you've got your cold audience. You have just like random humans. But the first circle in from that are the people who actually engage with your content. This is why I like content marketing, because it gives you a path to the inner circles. Content marketing allows you to warm up relationships. It allows people to see if they like you or not based on what you say in content. So I like that about content marketing because it allows you to put a message out in the world without having to go spend it. This is great for introverts, by the way. Ironically, I'm not an introvert, but a lot of the people that I serve are. Partly because I think I speak to authenticity. I speak to not having to manipulate people, being good listeners. So content marketing is great for introverts because you get to say what you want to say to the world into a camera, for example. And your people, the people who like what you have to say, kind of who engage, self-select, they move themselves into this first circle, okay? So the first circle really represents people that engage, right? They're people who are engaging in one way or another. Doesn't necessarily mean they're liking. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're commenting on your post, but they are watching. And you may never know that they're watching, but they're watching, right? So that's the first circle in. Now, from that place, the next circle in, and you can get all sorts of micro levels to this, right? But from there, people who start to like and comment, maybe they direct message you. That's another level in. then you might invite those people to take a free course, right? Maybe you have some type of a tool that they can download. And so you invite them to that. Those people who self-select beyond just liking and commenting, but actually go watch your free course, that's another level deeper towards the inner circle. But you see, in content marketing, we're just laying out a path to us. If you look at any of my stuff, none of this is a secret for me. At the end of every episode, I invite you to my free course, right? I invite you to apply for my 6-week program, and the first step of applying to my 6-week program is my free course. I'm laying out a path for you to get to me, and you get to be in charge of how far down that path you go. But that's what's cool about content marketing is people get to choose their own adventure. You're not manipulating anyone. You're not ambushing anyone. You're simply adding value, making connection, having leading a powerful conversation in the world, and other people are choosing to move themselves through the circles to the inner circle to become a true fan. So when you know, so you got that right. The backdrop was most people are cynical and skeptical, and because of that, we have to have this game of inner circles where we put out a message that our people would like, and they choose to come to us. Now, from there, once you understand that, now you can actually adjust your expectations, because most of you are completely irrational and impatient when it comes to your marketing. You think you should have $1 bazillion yesterday. Some of you think, like I thought, you make $1 million this year, when you actually have no track record for any of that. You have no plans. Listen, I get it. I am the dreamiest of dreamers. And I have just been through enough life now to know, like, there's always more beneath the surface of that iceberg, right? You see the tip of the iceberg and you're like, yes, $1 million this year. And you haven't had enough life experience to know there's so much beneath the surface that goes into implementing the kind of business that would produce $1 million for you. I love that number. That's a great number. And there's a lot that goes into it, right? So once you understand that marketing is a game of inner circles, and what we're doing in marketing is creating a path to us so that our true fans can find us and work with us, then you start to realize what the game really is, right? It requires a lot of patience. It requires that you show up all the time. You can't show up once a year in marketing. You show up all the time. Why? Because that's what helps create a path to you. It's what creates a safe pace. It's what has people want to keep coming back for more. So the takeaway here, besides the understanding or perspective that marketing is a game of inner circles, right? That would be our principle here, right? But the thing to do with that is to adjust your expectations and get very patient with marketing. Most of you are just way into patient. Into patient? I just caught that. Most of you are just way too impatient. There it is. All right. So knowing that, now you can actually start to do the appropriate work, which is to show up, and that's what you do. You just keep showing up, and you keep making it better and better and better as you go, which allows your fans to find you, okay, and self-select all the way to your inner circle. All right, gang, thanks for hanging out with me here tonight in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. If you'd like to learn more about my 6-week program, or you'd like to apply to my 6-week program, where we actually dive into not only you honing the conversation you're here to lead in the world, but also graduating that program with your own podcast in the world, your own show, much like this show, right? The place to go would be groundswellmethod.com, groundswellmethod.com. Watch the free video, and on the last page of the free video is the application. All right, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Here's to you playing the game of inner circles. See you tomorrow.